So to interpret the ECG, we need to look at the topmost, bottommost, and then we need to analyze the rhythm. The next step is to analyze the rhythm. So which lead do you want to look at when you're analyzing the rhythm? Lead 2 rhythm strip. Why lead 2? Because?
P wave.
Excellent. Because it shows the P wave well. And any wave in the 12 lead ECG will be able to see the ventricle because electrical activity is nicely, it's big already. But the atria, as we said, it's very weak. So we need a lead that is close to it. So lead 2 is close to the right atria, so it can read the P waves nicely. Okay, another lead that shows the P wave well,
V1.
very close to the right atrium,
V1.
Excellent. Okay, so usually you want to choose lead 1 or lead 2 or V1. But the usual thing in the ECGs here is lead 2. In other places, like in Germany, they will not display the they will not display the 12 lead ECG with only lead 2. They will display it with V1, V2. And in some centers, like in Egypt, where we have the EPS, the 12 lead ECG, it will include lead 2, V1, and V6 also. I'm sure the same thing will be in Germany in the advanced EPS centers, because for us there is like something called the proximal QT interval and distal QT interval. So you want to compare the QT interval of V1 with the QT interval of V5, V6, yeah, something like that. So it becomes a little complicated. Anyways, the rhythm strip better analyzed from lead 2. Okay, so whenever we want to analyze rhythm analysis, you want to check the regularity and rate. So it will be one of two answers, regular or irregular. If it is regular, how you will calculate the heart rate? So, as we said, 300 divided by R larger squares. So if you look at this, how much is the heart rate? 70, 75, in that range. Why did you say this? Yeah, say. So 300 divided by 4. This is the R wave, and we usually like to choose a clear R wave, which is on a large square. So you choose, for example, this one, because it's on a thick red line, which is the large square, and you calculate 1, 2, 3, 4 something. Yeah. So 300 divided by 4 is okay. 75. Okay, if it is 3 large squares,
100.
to be 100. If it's 2,
150.
150. Excellent. So you can easily calculate. So 300 divided by 4 is 75, and so on. If you do not, then you can memorize these numbers: 150, 100, 300, 150, 100, 75, 60, and so on. This is to memorize medical statements. But if you can calculate also, it will be better. Okay. If it is irregular, you think we can do this thing? Why? Because now the 300 large squares over 1 minute, there is no equal intervals between the RR. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long, irregular. So how to calculate in this case?
6.
We will have to count the R waves in the whole 300 large squares. Like how we calculate the heart rate, 1 minute, stay in the heart on the pulse of the patient, and stay there for 1 minute, and then see how many beats are there in the minute. This is the heart rate, yeah? But we don't have this much patience on the ECG because this rhythm strip, maybe it has only 30 large squares. So if you imagine 300, yani we need to reach till the end of this lecture hall. So we do not do this. We count only 30 large squares. 30 large squares. 30 large squares will be how many seconds? 6, because this is 60 seconds. So this is 6 seconds. So see in this 6 seconds, how many R waves are there? See the number of the R waves which are there in this 30 large squares. How many? 7. Ah, that's why I said 7. 70. Excellent. So okay, so there are 7 large squares. There are 7 R waves in this 30 large squares. So if you imagine that they are 300, if you imagine that this is 60 seconds, so you multiply this by 10. Yeah? Easy so far? Yeah. So, rhythm analysis, rate and rhythm. Number 2, you want to analyze the P and the QRS complex. So regarding the P wave, you want to ask yourself a question. Is it absent or present? If it is present, then it looks like there is atrial depolarization. Okay? If it is absent, either there is no atrial depolarization or there is something else, as we will see later. Okay? If it is present, we want to see if it is present, it's always of the same size, axis, and shape or not. Okay? So you need to check if it is, whenever it is present in the rhythm strip, all of them, they have the same size, the same axis, the same shape or not. If yes, then it's coming from the same focus. Which focus? We will see later. If not, like the P waves are present all over the rhythm strip, but they are of different shape or axis or size, then they are coming from different foci. Possibility of man. Okay, so this is the first thing.